When it comes to my personal choice for a Nintendo Switch controller, I never thought I would give up on my 8-bit though controllers. Like the Pro, Pro 2, the ultimate Bluetooth controller. I love these things. But I think I found the new king. The GuliKit Kingkong 3 Max. Yeah, it's kind of got a weird name, but this thing has blown me away. How many features it has. This is a ridiculous ass controller. And it doesn't just have to be used for the Switch, it could be used for PC, Android, Mac OS, iOS, on your Steam Deck, pretty much anything that uses Bluetooth or USB dongle, right? This thing, it's like a premium controller. It's like an elite controller for the Switch. There really was nothing here that I found that I didn't like, which is ridiculous. Because a lot of times these companies, man, they have these controllers nonstop hitting me up. Hey, review my controller. And I just stopped paying attention to this nonsense because most of these companies out there, they're all just selling the same damn thing. Little cheap, junky controllers. And I just don't got the time or desire to look at every no-name brand piece of crap out there. But GuliKit, they've kind of, made a name for themselves out there. All sorts of different products, modifications for systems, replacement parts, controllers, and whatnot. And I've noticed this one is really high up there for a lot of people. So as far as the features go, first off, I'm just gonna say this controller's comfortable. Nothing to complain about holding this in my hand. Is there certain things about it that maybe not my favorite? Sure, but we'll get into that real quick. This is not gonna be a long video. So recently, I was taking a look at that cracked, Nitro deck for the Switch, and it had like horrible ass rumble. This thing's got adjustable rumble. They say maglev motor. What the hell is maglev? I have to look that up. What the hell is a maglev motor? But it's got maglev motor, HD vibration, and rotor motor mode. So there's like multiple modes, 3 vibration modes you could choose from. And I messed around with this. Some of the best feeling rumble. I don't really care that much about rumble, but it felt good. Like I'm not tripping. I'm not like, this feels gross in my hands. Like the cracked Nitro deck just was nasty with the rumble to turn it off. The rumble here actually feels pretty good. So like I already said, multi-platform support, Switch, Android, iOS, so on and so forth. Then you have this hyperlink adapter that's for Windows only, they state, that allows wireless or wired dual 1000 hertz polling rates with low delay. So that's very nice. I just use this for the Switch though. The other thing you get is this detachable metal rear paddles. I like that they're detachable, that you don't have to use these damn things, because some people don't like back buttons or paddles. These actually feel pretty good. You can, set up the button preference, mapping any face button to each paddle if you want. Personally, myself, I really have no use for that, but I tried them out. They felt great. Very cool that they're there if you want to use them. And if you don't want to use them, you don't have to. They're not in the way. Just don't attach them. You also have Hall effect joysticks, the analog sticks, and the shoulder buttons. So very high precision. They have different sensitivity adjustments. There's like a lot of customization with this controller, but you don't have to let that kind of get to you. You could just turn this thing on and just use it. You don't even have to worry about all that stuff. I think out of the box, just using this thing was pretty awesome. Like I didn't really tweak with too much, but you can if you want. Now, another thing that you have is autopilot gaming, which is macros. You could record up to 10 minutes of macros if you want, and then just press the macro button and it'll, go ahead and run your macro that you programmed. And I like that it does, record holds on button presses. So if you're playing like Mario or so, I mean, you really wouldn't use this for that, but if you're holding the run button and you're using the direction pad, the D-pad in one direction or the other, it holds those buttons. If you recorded that, like it records your actual sequence. I've used some macros in the past, controllers where it was just quick button presses. You couldn't really hold anything, but here it works the way I expect it, and that's very good. You also have turbo. You can, assign turbo and stuff like that. No big deal. Some people like that. Some people don't need it, but it's there if you want it. And then you also have the 6-axis gyro, which worked really good. So you got gyroscope functionality here. It's a full-featured controller if you want to use this for the Switch. It also, you could wake up the Switch with it. It's not like one of those you got to turn the Switch on and power on the controller. No, the controller could power on the Switch, could wake it up. You know what I mean? And then the other thing that I don't really use often, but some people do, especially with the Zelda games and some other stuff, is amiibos. you got that amiibo support. So it's got that NFC reader built in, which is good. This thing's not a cheap controller, mind you. It's around the $80 price point, but when you take in consideration, like, a normal Switch Pro controller is like, what, 70 bucks? This is $10 more and actually feels, in my opinion, way more quality than an official Switch Pro controller. I'm one of those people who always like whatever the controller that was sold by the company that made the system or came with it. Like, I love that's it. I don't want to use third-party controllers, but with the Switch, it was like, the Pro controller was okay. Like, really didn't have too many complaints with it, but like the Joy-Cons really sucked. But then I started finding other control. The first system where my preference was using a third-party controller was the Switch. Never had that happen before. So it's saying something, when I switched to 8BitDo and was blown away by the different options from them. And then now this GuliKit Kingkong 3 is my preferred controller. That's saying something, man. But, back to my time with this testing, kind of gone over a bunch of different things. The one cool thing, like if you want to use, like I said, I only use this for Switch. If you want to use this on PC, you can use it on the Xbox as well with a little GuliKit adapter that you could buy separate. What was that thing called? Hold on. The GuliKit Goku wireless controller adapter. You could use that paired with this and use this like on the Xbox and some other, systems and whatnot. So that's kind of cool. But if you want to use it that way, you want to use it on PC, you can swap the buttons, the face buttons around. Because stock, it just came like, Nintendo style. But it comes with a little removal tool that the buttons are just kind of popped in there, but they don't feel cheap. Like, I've used controllers that had like magnetic buttons and they felt like they're going to fall out. These, they pop in there good. You could pull them out, put the new set of buttons in that swap the layout to Xbox, style, and it's good. So you got that option. I thought that was pretty cool. The biggest thing that I always like to test, because I do play a lot of games with D-pad, is, okay, the D-pad here. Not my favorite D-pad, I'm not gonna lie, but it's up there. It's nowhere near like bad at all. It feels good, but just, I don't know, it's not my favorite, I guess, but it works perfect. I didn't really have any issue. It's just, I guess maybe the feel, the shape of it is not my preferred style, but doing them Hadoukens and them dragon punches, those hurricane kicks in Street Fighter, no problem at all. So yeah, I do highly recommend this controller, but don't take my word for it. Take a look at other people's thoughts on it. I think it's awesome. But if you're interested, link down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.